You're listening to The Brand Compass, conversations to navigate your way to building a brand fit for purpose and poised for success. Here's your host, Shelley, Rostlund.
Well, hello there, and thank you for selecting this episode to listen to today. This is where we tackle the topics and conversations about where our brands meet the humans we serve. The subject which I'm going to get into today is all around defining what a brand machine is. Now, this is a concept I use as a metaphor when I'm teaching micro businesses about the mechanism which they can design and build to support them in spinning all those skills plates which they need to inside their business. If you listen to the episode that I did on my Three Amigos, you'll already know about 3 of those spinning plates already, and those are brand, marketing, and sales. I alluded in that episode that you can build an architecture or framework around you to help you to leverage those different skills at the right time to the right people. Your brand machine is that framework or architecture. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of what makes up this machine, I want to quickly cover the purpose and function of the machine and also nip some myths in the bud, because the word machine will probably throw up some niggles for you, good or bad. First, let's look at what my definition is of a machine, especially in this context. For me, it's a very well-oiled system with different moving parts, all working together to help you to continuously build awareness for your brand, generate qualified inquiries, and serves to efficiently nurture the people who've already put their hands up to say that they love what you're about and to move them along the buying journey as well. It's also there to further nurture the people that have already invested in you financially and emotionally in being the professional that they want to help them with their transformation. In order for your brand machine to do all of this, you still need to put a lot of thought into its design and keep it personal to you and relatable to your ideal clients or customers. It's not a cold, heartless machine made of metal or code, if you like. Okay, so you have an idea now of what this machine is and what it's made of in terms of the purpose of its working parts, right? Let's now look at why this machine is important to you as a micro business. And you know what I'm going to say, right? It's all about time. Time is precious, and you wear many hats on a daily basis. So your machine takes some of the heavy lifting away from you and frees you up to do the work you're most valued for, and that is in serving, advising, guiding, and looking after your clients or your customers. Fantastic idea, right? So you may already be whispering in your head, that all sounds great, Shelley, but what exactly are we talking about here? Because you'll already have heard many spouting the virtues of email automation, lead magnets, reaching 6 figures by just doing X, Y, Z, and similar type generic bits of apparent golden tactics. But I'm here to just dial that noise down and speak to you, business owner to business owner, and say, there is a lot of glossy advice out there. And what I mean by glossy is people saying things to catch your eye, make you click, and be so amazed by the glossy glare of spectacular success that you throw all caution to the wind and you follow whatever they say and you buy whatever they have to sell. You, my friend, are a sensible person, right? If you weren't, you probably wouldn't have lasted very long listening to my show. You know that success does not happen overnight for the majority of people. Success is the result of a series of trial and errors over time, and with dogged persistence, you get some momentum and things start to go in the right direction. Now, my brand machine mechanism concept is really for you, the sensible, practical entrepreneur who wants long-term success and to not be a flash in the pan. Before we get into looking into the moving parts, what's actually inside the machine, let's just take a step back to get some perspective in how this machine sits with your brand strategy and overall operation. Now, I have a diagram that goes with this, so make sure you check out the show notes just so that you can follow my thinking diagrammatically at least. So if you imagine things in 2D, think of an egg-shaped loop with lots of cogs moving around inside it in different sizes. If you imagine things in 3D, maybe think of the same shape, the egg-shaped loop, as a big bubble, and all the cogs inside are smaller little bubbles moving and bouncing around. Okay, so let's step back and think about your machine, which is, as we now know, a well-oiled system with different moving parts working together. Now, there's 3 main features I want you to be aware of for this machine at this point. Number 1, the whole machine is led by your brand strategy, which gives you the main purpose and visionary drive for why you are doing the work that you are doing. Feature number 2, it's engineered to be pulled together by your marketing plan, product development, and your delivery activity. Feature number 3, it is powered by you prioritizing actions like what will you do, what will you delegate, and what will you automate. All of these 3 features of your brand machine as a whole helps you to leverage your time, increase your profit, and improve the value for your customer. Now, in the title of this episode, I've sneakily used the term, the mechanism of freedom. Now, that sounds terribly Hunger Games-like, right? But just stick with me. Before I specialized in brand strategy, I worked as a business consultant, advising people on how to model their businesses for growth using the franchise model. So my focus for as long as I can remember has been about designing business models that work for the business owner, and that this is tightly related to what they envision for their ideal working life to look like, as well as their value proposition, which is the thing that they do and who they do it for. Okay? So what I have brought from my franchise consulting background is the use of systems, models, and frameworks. The way I see things is that for everything that you do in your business, you have a system. And your business itself is one huge system, and you are a vital part of that system. Now, the wonderful 𝗘𝗣𝗓𝗏 wrote a great primer on systems-led thinking, which helps me to articulate how I build my frameworks for my brand strategy work. In essence, what 𝗘𝗑𝗓𝗏 explains is that for a system to exist, there are a group of things that needs to be present. Number 1, a purpose for the system, elements to the system, interrelationships between the elements, and lastly, a series of inflows and outflows of the system. So things coming into the system and leaving the system. So how does this systems idea help you in grappling with building your brand machine? Well, sometimes, as we know, things can go awry for a micro business or even a small business who potentially started their business fresh out of working for someone else as an employee. Is that you? And this may have been you where you thought you had finally achieved some kind of freedom by taking your destiny into your own hands, as it were. That's true to a degree, but the level of freedom is not quite what you thought it would be. You jumped the employment ship with a set of skills which served you very well as an employee, but no one quite explained the full play that is owning and running your own business. I don't know about you, but that's definitely how I felt. So many micro business owners find themselves in the situation where they have done their level best, but that is not what is going to get them from here to there, wherever there is for them. My term mechanism for freedom is really about you creating that brand machine to be just that. You definitely do not have all of the skills that you need across the myriad of functions needed to run your business. There are more than likely some foundational things you've skipped altogether because you either didn't know about them or you did not know enough about them to know that they were important. Now, you wouldn't be alone, so don't feel too bad. Like many micro, if not all micro businesses, you come to the self-employment party with what you know, and you've patchworked your plan together as you've gone along. Sometimes you learn the hard way that you missed something or you should have prepared better for some situations. Now, the good news, my friend, is that my brand machine concept means that in order to build the machine, you have to take some considered time out to look at what it is that you are trying to do, what's the best way to do it, spot where your skill or your knowledge gaps are, and also identify where your strengths lie. That sounds simple, right? But so few people actually take the time to do this. They forge impatiently forward and don't realize that they are continually taking 2 steps forward and 6 steps back. Don't be fooled. Any old action or movement does not guarantee moving forward. You're just burning energy. Building a mechanism that truly supports you as a time-poor micro business owner with potentially a strain on resources means that you can actually create bubbles of freedom that allow you to do the higher value work and get you closer to your ideal working life. Right, now let's quickly highlight some of the elements that are inside your brand machine. We've got not much longer to go now. Like I said, I've got a diagram to go with this in the show notes, so there's a visual that will help to demonstrate what I'm trying to explain to you. I'm going to just list them quickly and just the high level what they are. So there's 7 parts to my brand machine that I normally design with my clients or with my participants within my group program. So number 1 is you, the owner, your purpose, and how you fit into the machine. Number 2 are your offers. So what is the problem you're actually solving for people, and what are the services that you've shaped in order to do that? Number 3 is delivery. Quite simply, how you carry out the work that you do. And your brand experience kind of plays into that as well. Number 4, your target audiences, and we cover things like your clients, ideal growth partners, advocates, and even who are good people to be part of your team. Messaging is number 5, how you say what you say. Number 6, content. Very important is how you share and demonstrate your expertise and your know-how. And number 7 is systems, the tools and processes to help you do things efficiently and effectively. I know that doesn't say a lot and that's a very quick list, right? But actually it covers a lot more than you think. Gosh, I really hope that that was a useful topic for you to get into. I know it's one of my group program participants' chunkiest kind of work that they've ever had to really do in their businesses. And I hope it gives you some insights and some learning as well. Have you built yourself a supportive mechanism that is robust and helps you in running your business the way you want it to? If not, maybe you need to look at how you could design your very own brand machine. I'd love to know if this conversation's made a difference for you, or if it just flared up more questions than answers. Please DM me, drop me a line, get in touch. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for choosing to listen to this episode today. Who do you know that would gain from hearing me share this concept with them? Perhaps you work with a freelancer and you're curious to know how they can maybe help you with your machine. Share this episode with them so that they can help support you. Until next time, stay strong, believe you have value, and make good brand decisions.
Thank you for listening to The Brand Compass. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with your entrepreneurial friends and help them make good brand decisions. Until next time, let's keep the conversation going at 𝗘𝗣𝗜𝗦𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏